Hi, I'm Greg, and you don't know who I am, because why would you know someone who worked at a fast food place? Thankfully, you'll get to know me a lot more now that I got fired. I got put on house arrest and I wasn't able to show up.
Isn't that fun?
And since that chapter of my life is all over now, it's time to take one final look at all the fun memories I had there. We gotta start from the beginning. See, I dropped out of high school. Well, not really. After the whole situation, I had not much to do, so I signed up for a bunch of jobs. Only 3 of them ever called me back for an interview, though. At the time, for some reason, I thought, okay, Greg, pick extremely carefully. You can only choose one. Not knowing I could do all of them and then pick which one was the best. I had one call at this kids' entertainment place in town that offered me $11 an hour, another one at Walmart offering $12, and a final one at this mystery fast food place that only exists in the Midwest. I'd never eaten at this place before, nor do I know much about it because I'm from Georgia, so I'm not sure if this company is petty enough to send a cease and desist. To be on the safe side, we're just gonna call it Disney because Disney will probably own it in the future anyways. Anyways, that job offered me $14 an hour, so I went and I took the interview there. A little bit later, I get a call back, do my orientation, and whatever. I have a job now. I'm set to do a station called Broiler. That title alone intimidated the hell out of 17-year-old Greg. I show up my first day and the person training me takes me to Broiler, a burger making station. Immediately though, I'm overwhelmed by the amount of food they have laid out. All I can think is, oh my god, why didn't I go to Walmart? Until one manager is like, hey, why'd you take Greg out here? He's got movies to watch. And I'm like, I love movies. And then they give me a tablet, they toss me in the employee's entrance, tell me not to come back until I finish watching the movies. But also, if anyone rings the door, I need to take their temperature before I let them in. So I hit play. I didn't get to watch Toy Story, or at least Shrek. I had to watch some corny ass training videos, and during that, there was a ring at the door, so I go mosey on over, still looking at the tablet, and then I take the temperature. I hear a very familiar voice say, "Can I come in now?" So I look up and notice my ex-girlfriend, Ursula. Now I'm really punching myself over the fact I didn't pick Walmart. So I eventually started flipping burgers, and let me tell you, it was not beginner friendly, alright? It was busy 24/7. People ordered weird stuff all the time. Like one time someone ordered a chicken sandwich with no meat, only onions. You paid $7 for that? The next day I started working with this guy. We'll call him Cook, and we never got any work done. We just around along with some other slackers and make burgers when we got yelled at. There was this one time, one coworker who was also doing Broiler just disappeared for like half an hour. Then I walk over to the freezer to restock, but I hear screaming coming from the inside, so I'm like, no. And I didn't end up going in there. But a little bit later, he comes back with visible frost on his nose, and I'm like, where the fuck have you been? And then he goes, Manny locked me in the freezer. So I asked Manny about it, but he didn't mean to do it. Oh well, oops. After a lot of slacking off, the managers got pissed. They moved me over to Fry's, the closest thing on earth to hell. Firstly, the damn station was literally below dick level, with a ridiculously low hood, which would already be a problem to the layman, but then there's me. Who has a whole smorgasbord of bullshit. And secondly, for some reason, people love the damn place. I've seen lines that you would not believe. Lines that took hours upon hours to clear. So people were always ordering fries. And additionally, I had to fry chicken and onion rings. And if that wasn't bad enough as it is, I had to work like 3 feet away from Ursula Max. I did this station for about a month, and my spine began to feel like a mushy banana. And I'm thinking, that can't be normal. I should probably tell my boss about this. So I tell him, hey, can I not do fries anymore? And thankfully I got moved, but now they got me running all over the place. I'm busting, working the drive-thru window, taking orders, and being a Coke barista. Because our restaurant didn't have a publicly accessible Coke fountain. We instead had people personally serving the customers at the counter. I don't get why they couldn't have just moved this to the other side. We also had to make milkshakes too, but that at least makes sense. One day I was peacefully making my Cokes, this old guy staring at me, which I didn't like, but people do this all the time, so I said nothing. But then he walks up to me, inspecting me as I scoop up the ice and goes, use your other hand. I was using my left hand to scoop up ice because, I'm left-handed. So I tell him this and he goes, oh, I feel sorry for you. I do that little fake customer service laugh when people joke. Even if it's not funny, you have to laugh or you're an asshole. But this man, he starts getting kind of riled up and he goes, it's not funny. You let the devil take control of you. When you stand before God, he'll be very disappointed. Change for the better while you still can. Then he walks away mumbling to himself. I'm just left there flabbergasted. I'm like, what did I do wrong? We got a lot of those crazy customers, so many of them that you completely lose track of. One that I will always remember, and you'll see why, was this day I was working the drive-thru window. Now we didn't have a regular drive-thru, much like the fountain, we again wanted to be quirky. We had a Chick-fil-A style drive-thru, with people taking orders on one end and people hand delivering food to cars, and I'd did work both of these, but I'll get to that later. I was in charge of putting the bags together, and then I'd give them to the person delivering them, and they were called the runner. So this car pulls up. The driver and Austin the runner talk non-stop for, I don't know, 4 minutes. And I'm thinking, damn, these two are really hitting it off. And when I finally had his order ready, Austin gave him the bag, and I can hear the guy say, well, when it happens, remember me. Yeah, I will. And as soon as he drives off, he turns to me with his eyes wide open and goes, dude, that guy was crazy. And proceeds to tell me about how this guy was saying this ongoing war was actually scripted and was all a ruse to distract the public from the fact that aliens would be invading the northern hemisphere from Australia, which was actually just a government base similar to Area 51. The customer went on to describe it in great detail and talk about how he's been expecting this to happen since high school. Dude was like 50. And of course at the end the guy says, well, when it happens, remember me, and drives off into the sunset. Sometimes customers are borderline intrusive with the employees, like with this one guy who we'll call Manny. He kind of looks like this. I think he was making hot dogs that day, and this customer walks up to the counter and goes, hey, no offense bro, but you look like Luigi. I'm sorry, what? You know Luigi from Mario Kart? No offense, but you look just like him. Okay. Then someone called for Manny and he went over there. After it was over, I came back with him. And the kid has his phone out with a picture of Luigi and goes, hey, no offense bro, but that's who you look like. I think that kid was on drugs. So like I said, I also worked outside. It was the worst. Again, we didn't have a normal drive-thru. We had all the components for one, but we just never used them. I assume this was done to make everything faster, but honestly, this caused more problems than it did solve. We always had to call over a walkie-talkie when we needed a discount. The area was in front of a giant brick wall that made it a pain in the ass to go around whenever we had to go back to the window to fix something. We were also never able to leave. We had to be there no matter what the weather was. 100 degrees, 10 degrees, rain, snow, hail. You had to be outside. I almost got sucked into a tornado because of it. I was told over the walkie-talkie that there was a tornado warning in a town 30 minutes away. They said they didn't think it hit us, but if it picked up, I could go inside. But because I'm from Georgia, I know tornadoes. I knew it hit us. I also knew they wouldn't take that as an excuse though. It was only decently windy at the time, but about 20 minutes later, it randomly picked up. Hard. I was seriously being pushed around. I could not stay put for the life of me. I had to go in now, but for whatever reason, I felt the need to complete the order I was doing. And again, we were out there when it was hot as shit too. So in the summer, some of my coworkers would take out an umbrella from the outside patio, put it above these crates where they sit down. One of those umbrella days, I was taking out the trash, and I see these guys, Chandler and other Greg, sitting outside. Then this car pulls up. Other Greg goes up to take the order, and suddenly the umbrella just flies up into the air, and Chandler goes, oh shit. Other Greg turns around quickly, but the umbrella's already gone. All you can hear is a loud thunk sound. It hit a car on the other side. And when that car got his food 10 minutes later, the guy told Austin, are you guys gonna f up my food too? And Austin's like, why are you so mad? And the car behind him goes, his car got hit by an umbrella. Anyways, I finished taking out the trash and I go inside to spill the tea, only to be heartbroken, because they already knew about it. That was 30 seconds ago, who the f told you? Then my boss called me and other Greg into the office and had the umbrella just sitting there and says, Gregory's, you must destroy this. And we did. It was a really fun 30 minutes. Yeah, I always need to cherish these moments where I had fun at work, lest I look back on the blackout day. The blackout day was one of the worst days ever. I was on front register. First guy comes in, he's like, yeah, let me get a salad with tomatoes and onions and, ooh, maybe some gummies. And I keep pushing the buttons, but nothing would happen at all. So I'm like, sorry, sir, just give me a second for the screen on freeze. And then, all the cook screens go black. That can't be good. Now I talked to my manager and she tells everyone in line to go to the drive-thru since the drive-thru computer's working just fine. However, we couldn't redirect them back there all day, so I had to take orders on the painfully slow computer. It took minutes for our tickets to print. The line was getting so outrageously long that Manny had to start helping me out. And Manny's been working at this place since day one, since he was 16. So when he's struggling to keep up, we've got a huge problem. At this point, we get a call over the intercom. The drive-thru is now facing the same issue. Now credit cards weren't being detected, neither was cash because their cash registers don't open until we type how much money we got. Like at one point I got exact change and I'm thinking, sweet baby Jesus for blessing me. I hit the exact change button. It took 7 minutes. Customers were starting to get so mad and us cashiers had to hog our tickets. The cooks ended up getting unbelievably behind on orders because their monitors were dark. They couldn't see any of their orders ahead of time. Eventually they stepped up for themselves and said, Greg, Manny, please start calling on any item you get over the intercom. Which slowed us down even more, but at least the food was coming out slightly faster. However, it wasn't enough. We had so many bags that on one of the stations, my tickets alone clogged up the whole line. They started falling into buckets of gravy. Set us back another 40 minutes because I had to print new tickets for all those soggy ass bags. And in the midst of all the terror, I took this lady's credit card, but instantaneously, I got the receipt. Weird. I started giving out the tickets, and I hear Manny go, and as if it never even happened, all our registers went back to normal. Then we hear a loud beep sound. The cook's screens went live again, and they were flooded with pages upon pages of orders they made hours ago but couldn't clear initially because the screen was black. So as the grand finale to that god-awful day, for 10 minutes straight, all you could hear in the kitchen was the cooks deleting those orders, all in unison, going beep, 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 beep. Yeesh, it's even worse than I remembered. Thank God it's all over now. In conclusion, don't ever work fast food unless you need to be humble. Those customers, man, they still haunt my dreams. Well, isn't that convenient? Give me a week and I'll eradicate all the shitty customers off the face of the earth. Hopefully by then, I figure out how to get this damn residue off me. God, that itches!